Yeet.
Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the AR Wrestling Podcast. Today, myself and my co-host Ryan. What's up, Ryan?
Yeah. Let's get it.
Go over the July 1st edition of Raw and July 5th edition of SmackDown. So, as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy. As we got, I would say, a banger of an episode, per usual.
Another banger of an episode. They're always a
Do you have any
banger
news
with
for
the
the week?
boys. Uh, can I think of anything? I don't think anything really happened. Nothing like super big
I say
happened
I
during
don't,
the
I
week.
don't, yeah, I don't remember if anything happened during the week. I was busy doing fireworks shows all around my
It's
home
the 4th of
state.
July. Happy
And so I
birthday,
didn't have much time to
America.
actually be on social media. Yeah, happy birthday, America.
Let's go.
But with that being said, let's
USA.
get right
USA.
into
USA.
Monday Night Raw. So we opened through the crowd, like in the stands, the concession stands, and the concourse. And who is it? Yeet comes out, and everybody's just yeeting and everything. And as Jay's coming out, Michael Cole and Corey Graves are on commentary, still with Pat McAfee coming back, I believe, next week on this coming Monday Night Raw. I would still assume like mourning loss of his father-in-law, maybe something, I don't know. But Michael Cole is yeeting. He's yeeting now.
Yeeting. Let's go,
Let's get it.
Cole.
Um, Yeet opens a promo. Basically, he lists off all of his opponents saying they won't win at Money in the Bank, and Jay said he's gonna win because he's main event. Jay, ooh, so.
So.
And
Let's
then
go.
Chad Gable will come out. He instantly gets booed. He calls Boston a bunch of idiots and is basically saying, yeet isn't a word, but you know what a word is? Miracle is a word. And you will find Chad Gable's picture next to it right in the dictionary. And there's a bunch of, you suck chants happening, per usual, Chad Gable. And he kind of gets into the whole thing with the Wyatt Six, and he said he overcame the Wyatt Six and his family leaving, and that where we at? Chad said that he's gonna win and call himself Master in the Bank at Money in the Bank, and Jay asked him about the Wyatt Six, and he goes, Chad's like, dude, I'm not afraid of the Wyatt Six. You should be afraid of the Wyatt Six, and basically, Chad is basically trying to pin this all on Jay because Jay took the Fireflies and abandoned the Bloodline. And Jay goes, "Hey, I said could take the Fireflies. I'll take the mosquitoes. I'll take whatever.
I'll take
He
the
can have the
cockroaches.
Fireflies." um, and he basically calls Chad Gable what Roman Reigns was being to Jay this entire time, a manipulative scumbag. And um, Chad, kind of gets a little upset about that, but Yeet starts yeeting everywhere. He would hit a super kick and go for an Uso splash on Chad, but Chad rolled out of the ring and the lights went dark and Chad's like freaking out. He's all around everywhere. And I seen a video of Jey Uso actually getting or dropping down to the apron and rolling out and then rolling under the ring while this entire thing is going on in Boston.
He's probably like, yeah, I don't
And
want to
as
do
soon as
none
he
of
got done,
that.
he crawled back out of the ring, or he crawled back out from under the apron. But
Get the hell out of there,
lights
Jay.
go dark. Like I said, Chad's freaking out. The piano plays. There's a spotlight on Chad. And this, I'm not gonna lie, I think I like this more than what happened in Indianapolis because there's heavy smoke coming from the opposite side of the ring that Chad was sitting from, or that Chad is from. And he jumps the barricade and starts walking backwards looking for like anyone and everyone. And then we see a figure in the light. It is a pig like mask looking figure, which would be Joe Gacy. Or if you look at it the puppet wise, which is how I have written down in our notes, it is Huskus the pig. And Chad will start backing up towards the ladders on the stage, and he sees a rambling rabbit figure in the light, with the that being Eric Rowan. And then again, he's just kind of making his way across. Then we see Dexter Loomis bursting the buzzard. But there's a picture that Dexter Loomis tweeted. It's actually a really cool um design thing, and I enjoy it.
Heck yeah, for his mask.
But I was thinking Yeah, it was like of his mask and like it's from the side and everything. But like I want to see it if there's a possibility of if there's any other ones because it was only posted to Dexter's page itself.
Hmm.
And I was looking if I had a screenshot so I could send it to you, but I don't. But the art looks really cool. Then Chad starts going upstairs through the crowd. Nikki Cross comes out. She has another box. And again, security, all it out. All it out.
Oh, let up.
And Corey Graves is just freaked the hell out. He's like, what the hell just happened? Like he's like like Michael Cole, what the hell just happened? Like what's going on? And in the box there's another VHS tape that says "Play Me," which we will get to later on in this episode. But I like what they're really doing with Chad Gable and this. Chad was honestly an underrated pick for them to go after, to be honest, but it works
Yeah, right.
so
Like
well.
I was not expecting them to go after Chad as their first victim, like at all. But I really like how it's working out for him. Like Chad's trying to
Yeah,
flip it around to be like, "I'm surviving these freaks," when in reality they're just trying to kill him. He's just running away.
yeah, he's just trying to stay alive as long as possible. Um, and like I think I don't know if you had if you had a next target for the Wyatt Six, who are you picking?
I mean,
Because
honestly, Jey
I've seen
Uso
ideas
wouldn't
thrown
be a bad
around.
feud.
Yeah, I say I've seen ideas of Jey Uso being there because one, he did take the Fireflies, and two, he abandoned the Bloodline.
Yeah, that would also kind of push the idea that the Wyatt Six aren't good guys and they aren't bad guys. They just go after whoever they want to. Because they went after
It's like
Chad
Braun
Gable,
saying
who
that
everyone
Braun Strowman, let's say
hates.
he doesn't like bullies.
Yeah, right. So they're going after Chad Gable, like the guy that everybody hates, and now they're going to go after Jey Uso, the guy that everybody loves. So they don't care who's good or who's bad. They're just going after like whoever sins in their eyes. Like nobody is
Yeah.
good or nobody's bad.
I also seen the idea of Braun Strowman
Oh
because
yeah,
he
go
left
after
the White
Braun.
Six. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Which is not
Braun.
who they were originally going to go after, to be honest.
Right, that would have made most
We'll
sense.
see. I'm kind of
Still
upset
time.
though that they're. I know we're gonna get into like SmackDown later, but I want to point this out. I'm kind of upset the White Six aren't on SmackDown either. Like they're not. They don't travel both sides of WWE's brand
Yeah, me too.
because they could do so much with Dexter Lumis, Johnny Gargano, Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae, Tommaso Ciampa, and Austin Theory. Within, like I said in past episodes, he is a member of the Way back in NXT. And what it looks like right now is that they're somewhat, to me, with this whole thing with DIY, A Town Down Under, they're trying to, DIY trying to pull Theory away so that they can reform the Way.
Hmm.
And then you just kind of, like, everybody knows Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae are married. And that Indy Hartwell and all of them are, and Tommaso Ciampa and those two are also super close with LeRae or Candice LeRae and Gargano. So I
Right.
mean, why not just bring back the Way with Austin Theory and then kind of have Dexter Lumis kind of stalk them until it's time for the White Six to attack.
That'd be pretty dope. I do really like that idea of like having the Wyatt Six stalk or be in the background of segments of their next victim, though. I think that's like a really cool idea. It's
Mm,
just like you're all of a sudden we have like an interview with like Braun Strowman in the back, and in the background you just see like Huskus the Pig standing behind like a couple of crates or something. That's like your first hint of like, oh shit, now they're going after Braun.
yeah, that would they kind of like what they've been doing with Chad Gable, almost like how there's been spots that he's been seeing with the puppets just laying around everywhere.
Like the actual
And like
puppets.
all of them have Chad Gable right in front of them,
Oh shit. Yeah, exactly like
which
that.
I
That'd
will
be
say,
insane.
yeah, it's kind of like they were doing when they came on. What was it, June 17th? Like when they debuted.
Hmm.
I still think
Yes.
with that we're opening of or having the ending of a weekly show like that was absolutely insane. It's almost a
That was
month now,
awesome.
and it was
That was
still
so
insane. They
cool.
still have security everywhere.
Right? That was a good idea to like push the idea of the White Six being that big of a threat, but security clearly
Yeah, they
doesn't
don't
do
even need
anything.
they don't even need titles. Like honestly,
No,
I
I
think
agree.
titles would add just a little bit of boost, but they really like if the way they're playing this right now, they do not need a title
The
whatsoever.
only problem with them winning a title is that they eventually have to lose it.
Yeah, and then
And
that takes away their credibility
uh,
of
oh, maybe a little bit, but if you don't keep a title on them and maybe have them still go after people with titles, where like we want a shot at, we want a match with the tag champs, but we don't want it for the tag titles. We just want it so that we can prove that we can beat the shit out of you whenever we want to and take them if we wanted to, essentially.
it's not a bad idea. I like that.
That's a,
Um,
but I like the idea. They don't need any titles. I agree with you.
mm, I think that would just take away, like I said, like I was just saying, the credibility of the Wyatt Six because they're supposed to be like this unbeaten force, kind of like how the Fiend was supposed to be when Bray was portraying the Fiend and all that.
Yeah. And then everything with Hell in a Cell and Goldberg happened.
Yeah, for real, that was extremely unfortunate for him
Yeah.
and the entire WWE fan base.
Yeah, that was awful.
That
No one
was
deserved that shit.
no nobody at all deserved that. They didn't. Bray didn't deserve that. Fucking, I
Seth
really
didn't
don't even
deserve
think
that.
Goldberg deserved that, but that's just me.
Nah, Goldberg didn't deserve that. We didn't deserve it.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, not at all. Oh man. But with that being said, we move into our first match of the night. Xavier Woods versus Karrion Kross. After this comes from the attack last week of when the Final Testament attacked um, Xavier Woods backstage during Cody Rhodes. Jesus Christ.
Whoa!
I meant Kofi's match last night
Kofi!
against Karrion, or last week against Karrion, which was it was kind of interesting how they had all this. Jesus Christ, I gotta quit fucking with this. Um, how they're playing this out still, but this was where I don't have it pulled up. Shit, hold on. I'll get my match highlights pulled up, but I think with this, I was seeing something on I think it was like Twitter or something like that, and it had to do with Xavier Woods, um, kind of just being upset he lost the speed championship and shit like that. But I didn't actually watch the full interview. I was not really interested in the speed interviews because like the WWE speed, I wish they would do more with it than just exclusively on Twitter.
Yeah, like Andrade doesn't even
To be
carry the
honest,
Speed Championship on TV.
yeah, like
That's stupid as
if
shit.
you want to hold that, yeah, if you want to hold that and make it a big thing, you got to pull that shit on TV. Like
Yeah, like at least have a, like.
maybe
Go ahead.
maybe if you have some like dead air time or something, you send out a quick match or something. I don't know.
I mean,
Or you set up some speed matches like if it's a promo heavy Raw.
not
Something.
even that. You
I
don't
don't know.
even
Just get
have
it
to,
more.
especially if they want to push the idea of it only being on X. Like, at least have Andrade carry the fucking title on TV, though.
Yeah, I'll
Because
say
like,
he's the current champion. Xavier Woods fought for that championship,
hmm so like,
but
I'm completely agreeing with you. They need to push the idea of WWE Speed more if they want it to be an actual thing.
mhm, yeah. But with being in the match, Xavier Woods ended up saying no to a handshake, and carrying across whatever power Woods until he would hit the dive to the outside, carrying with powers Woods into the ring post and drops him on his head. We go to commercial, but when we get back, they're both trading chops. And Woods would start getting the better of the exchange and hits a super kick, but Cross would end up hitting a headbutt and counters a top rope elbow from Woods. And Woods would roll up carrying for the W, getting the win for the New Day.
What a new day!
But, I mean, as always, I think they're trying to manipulate Xavier Woods. AOP attacked the New Day after the match, and Kofi tried going over the ropes, but Karrion ended up giving him a cross hammer. AOP throws Woods into the barricade. Cross puts a hold on like Kofi Kingston's arm. It's kind of like an arm bar or something, and it looked not like an armbar, but it looked brutal. Like he had like his elbow back and everything, just pulling back on his tricep and his arm all at once,
Mm-hmm.
and that looked brutal. Scarlett's sitting there smiling, and just Paul Ellering, being Paul Ellering, the manager, calling all the shots for this to happen.
Damn straight. Now Woods ain't got no partners.
Does Xavier join the Final Testament?
I think he
I
does.
feel like that'd be wrong almost. Like looking at
It'd
them
be
all, I feel
so
like Xavier Woods the
wrong.
odd man out.
It'd be so wrong. It'd be like when Daniel
I feel like
Bryan
he's
joined the
the
Wyatt family all those years ago.
but that almost felt right at the same time. Like it didn't feel right at first, but then you let it play out. That felt right.
I had a different feeling.
To me, I liked it.
For me, I didn't.
I was a big Daniel Bryan guy back in the day, and I liked it.
Me too, but I wasn't big on the Wyatts. But I get what you're coming from with that. But I agree, Xavier definitely wouldn't feel like he fit in.
Yeah, I don't know. Because like the Final Testament is just a bunch of powerhouses, and then you got Xavier Woods, who isn't necessarily a powerhouse, but he's also not like a jobber. He's a pretty solid talent.
Yeah, right. I like how the subtlety of this is pushing the idea of like, obviously, like now Xavier is by himself because Kofi's going to be out for however long, but like the idea that now last week Kofi couldn't beat Karrion Kross, but this week Xavier could beat Karrion Kross. So they're trying to push that idea of like, Woods, you're better than Kofi, right? So this is just an easier way for them to push that idea too. Maybe you can even have Kross spin the idea of like, I threw my match with Woods to like manipulate this idea into your guys' heads, you know?
Then I don't have much else for that match. Do you?
Nope.
So then we would move into a video promo from last Monday's main event, which I actually forgot what it was.
The tag title, for sure.
Yeah, which would end up leading us right into the Judgment Day. So Dom and Priest are walking backstage, and they're kind of just walking up to the room, and Damien asks if Dom's talked to Rhea, and Dom's like, yeah. And Damien goes, well, I talked to her. She's not happy. She's pissed. And Dom's like, I'm going to get the Liv situation figured out. Don't worry. And he says that the Liv thing isn't his fault and that Priest, and he basically kind of is walking away, that teenager thing, like say like they're in like a split home or whatever. Dom looks back, he goes, you're not my dad. Ooh. And Priest is like, whoa, what'd you say? He goes, nothing. Dom goes, nothing, don't worry about it. And as they enter the room, Liv's in the locker room, and she wishes Daddy Dom good luck for his match before she leaves for her match. And there's a Liv is finally on top t-shirt, and it's on the WWE shop.
That's a crazy shirt.
Which is kind of just solidifying more of the Liv Morgan revenge tour more than anything. But yeah, Dom wants Liv gone, and but Finn kind of points out how Liv brought the tag titles back to the Judgment Day after getting that match. Kind of using her way through truth to get the tag titles back. And Finn says that the Judgment Day doesn't need Priest because, like, he goes, well, like you said last week, you don't need us. And Damien says, you know what? Instead of y'all needing me and me needing y'all, we need each other. And he says he's going to beat Rollins at Money in the Bank. And Balor says that Balor says truth is, since Damien has won the world championship, he's changed. He's not himself. And I know, they just won the tag titles and everything. And Priest is champion as of right now. Do we see a Finn Balor versus Damian Priest at SummerSlam?
If Damien
we have yet to see Money in the Bank.
True. If Damien drops the title, then yes, 1000% I think so. Because I think this is definitely the feud that they're trying to build towards is Balor versus Priest. Which if Priest does retain his title, I don't think he will, honestly. But if he does, then you have I don't even know where else you could do the Balor versus Priest match. I mean, you have plenty of other PLEs you could do it, but SummerSlam is like the big stage that for like a rivalry
It's
to
the biggest summer of
start.
the year.
Yeah, right.
The biggest party of the year. Biggest party of the summer. Damn it.
Biggest party of the summer. There you go. And like, yeah, that's like the
Um.
perfect stage to start off a big rivalry like that.
So my question to you is, what if Damian wins at Money in the Bank? Does this solidify him more as a legitimate champion instead of a transitional champion?
I think it will, especially since he'll have a win over Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
Freaking
then there's the fact
Rollins!
that you're sitting here looking at Damian being champion. Well, what if the fact that Rollins can't go for this title anymore if he loses at Money in the Bank? Does he like start putting himself? Does Rollins put himself in the mid card title scene? He thinks he needs to reevaluate himself, like he was
I think Seth goes heel.
talking about last Monday, I believe was when it was.
Yeah, I think it was last
I
Monday.
don't remember when. Yeah,
But
so I
I
don't
think
remember what the
he
fuck he
does
came out.
reevaluate his situation, and I think he's going to do a heel turn. Honestly, I think he'll do.
Rollins doing a heel turn would be crazy.
Right, I think it'd
He
be
did
awesome.
Rollins did say something along the lines of, like, he got asked about Becky. He goes, "Becky's great, but I can't speak on her in-ring return."
Yeah.
So that makes me think one of two things. Becky's gonna go. Becky might end up going to AEW just for maybe like a little run with Mercedes, or she's just gonna take time off. Spend time with Rue and everything, and then kind of get Rue to the point where she should be okay traveling on the road again and go from there. Because I mean, you got to think about it. Where the age their kid is right now, that's probably one of the most that's one of the most important times in the kid's life because it's a huge developmental age.
Yeah, I mean she's about four about this time. Yeah, that's a really important
Say
thing.
she's getting ready to go to school or
Sorry,
something like
I
that.
had a fucking thing caught in my throat there. Yeah, I agree with you. I really hope that Becky does come back to WWE though. Not gonna lie,
Yeah,
I don't really want to see her go to AEW because AEW's got like plenty of women's there, and really like Becky in WWE. But I'm really hoping,
I think
especially
Becky's
to
better
see.
off in WWE too.
Agreed, she definitely is. I think, but off this, I definitely. Oh, dude, I want to see a Seth heel turn so bad off of this match.
You think if Becky came back, she could do a heel turn?
Yeah,
Because
I think
I think there's a heel turn that she had, and it was absolutely hated.
it was the summer. She returned at SummerSlam 2022, I think, and then she was
Wasn't it
heel
like the
versus
big time Bex
Bianca.
thing?
Yeah, that was for her match at WrestleMania 38 against Bianca, where she was also a heel during that entire stint through there, and it was not good because everyone just kept cheering her. Because everyone loves
Oh
Becky.
man,
Becky's awesome.
everyone does love.
So I
I mean,
think
she
Becky
hasn't been
could go
seen or
heel,
heard
but it's hard
from.
for her.
Well, no, she hasn't heard from. She's got that match over in Japan, sometime this month actually. I forget when it is.
Hell yeah.
She got that match in Japan to help promote the. I think it's to help promote the GCW Noah brand wrestling with WWE's merge or whatever it is. I don't know.
Yeah, let's go, Becky.
So then let's move into the probably the sad segment, which I mean it is. Rip Sika and Owahi. Roman Reigns' dad. We had another tribute video, same one they played on SmackDown, and as the video was playing, there's a bunch of Sika chants popping out. They just kept screaming Sika, 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 which I thought was awesome. I mean, we'll never have. I'm going to say this right now. Like I said, I think I don't know when I said it to you, or I might have said it on this podcast. But the Samoan dynasty runs wrestling, and I will say, without Sika, it would not be the same.
While Samoans were definitely some of the biggest influences for the Samoan dynasty, like taking over all of professional wrestling, basically. Because like you look around, they
Even
basically
just
have.
like even wrestlers who aren't Samoan, like it was just huge for them because that's how they got into wrestling.
Yeah, literally.
Um,
R.I.P. Sika though, a
R.I.P.
legend.
Sika, really for real. So then we go into a Zelina Vega with Kathy Kelly being backstage, I think is when it was. And Zelina has basically kept focus on Liv no. Kathy goes, has Zelina kept focus on Liv and asks about Dom's help. And she goes, I'm not worried about a bootleg Rhea Ripley and, that dirty D. I was like, bro,
Oh,
you look, you may not have had anything big
Zelina.
happen to you, but you were straight dissing these two, and it is working. I like it. I don't know about you, Ryan,
Zelina.
but I love it.
That's
I
crazy as
absolutely love it.
fuck. I cannot believe she's actually
Um,
saying that shit.
then we go to commercial, and we
That's
come back, and it cuts to
wild.
Chad Gable. Chad Gable running from the Wyatt Six, just absolutely scared out of his mind, obviously. And then we get into our match, the Women's World Championship. Zelina Vega versus Liv Morgan. Basically, we get into the match. Liv would get a cool submission into the ropes, and Zelina would end up getting a 619 to Liv's ribs right in the corner. Liv would drop kick Zelina off the apron, and Daddy Dom comes out to ringside to try and help Zelina, but Ray comes out after him. Dom comes out all happy, Dom comes out. Liv is as happy as can be, and Dom gets showered with booze, but he's applauding Zelina. And like I said, Ray comes out, and Dom actually starts kind of running away. And then we run to commercial. We come back. Liv hits the Three Amigos and a prison lock submission. And then Zelina was able to get out and hit Liv at the top rope. Code Red sending her rolling to the outside. Liv would end up hitting Ray with the outside of the baseball slide as he's talking to Dom, but Zelina immediately smacks her with the 619 and a tornado DDT for the near fall. Dom would again try to do what he did with Becky and slide steel chair in, but Zelina would end up throwing it in Dom's face, allowing Liv to hit the Oblivion for the win.
Dude, Liv breaking up the fucking Dom's moves and Rhea's moves was nuts.
What is going on? Why is Liv doing this shit? Leave Dom alone. He doesn't
poor
want
man
you.
alone. Leave this
Leave
poor
this
man
poor man.
alone.
The Judgment Day clearly does not know about his clearly does not know about his social media presence at all.
No. I still think they're in cahoots.
Oh yeah, they definitely are. Basically, Dom and Liv goes out to Dom on ringside after he got hit in the face, and he just straight up gets up and leaves, and Liv is following him like a lost puppy, per usual. Then Kathy Kelly would come out, stopping Liv, and she goes, Kathy's like, asks Liv, she goes, are you feeling like everything's going to plan? And she goes, well, the Liv Morgan revenge story is going exactly as she planned. And she's dedicated her win and her future wins to her daddy, Dominic. And I was like, no,
Oh my
this
God.
can't be happening. I need mommy back. Rhea, come back
Mommy.
now. I'm still predicting SummerSlam. That's what I'm going with. If she comes back at Money in the Bank, that would be insane.
Oh my God.
But I'm predicting SummerSlam because Liv's obviously going to have a match at SummerSlam. There's no way you don't.
Oh, hell yeah. I think all four world champions are going to have their titles defended on SummerSlam.
I think that's going to be the thing. But I think at that point, SummerSlam's going to be like 4 hours long, which I'd be okay with.
I'm fine with it.
I'd be okay with SummerSlam being 4 hours long.
That's great.
Because I feel like you shouldn't have all the world titles and then just, one mid-card. Like, you should put, your top title. Like, you should put, a tag team title matchup, all the world titles up, maybe the U.S. title to make it elevate it more than what the IC title needs,
I agree with you. If they want to make
PLEs, it'll help elevate the title.
Exactly, I agree with you. But if they want to make SummerSlam like the second WrestleMania, like if they want to make it WrestleMania during the summer, basically, then they need to put all their world championships on there. They're already making it 2 nights in 2 years, maybe doing it 2025. We don't know, but yeah, they need to put everybody on SummerSlam in order to make it feel like the biggest card possible.
Mm-hmm.
But Triple H does like his low match numbers and just like longer matches and just fewer numbers.
That works.
It does work. I do like that.
Then we see your favorite Scotsman, Drew
Oh,
McIntyre, with a video
Drew
promo that's sponsored by
McIntyre.
Modelo, great Mexican beer.
Hey, at least they sponsored the Scotsman this time.
Great Mexican beer. Love it. If anyone gets between Drew and his gold, he's going to do what he did to Punk. Basically, absolutely fuck him up like he did on that SmackDown a couple weeks ago. And he thinks that he's going to win his qualifier and win Money in the Bank. Which we would later see his qualifier. We will later talk about his qualifier and if he's in Money in the Bank.
My brain just blew up.
But then we see Seth Rollins walking backstage, and I noticed on the right side of Rollins, like how the camera shot was, there's a figure that looked like Rhea Ripley, but then I looked back and watched it a few times. I looked like Sonya Deville, more or less, talking to Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler again. I forget who it was.
I still think that's a women's faction that they're going to start pushing on TV here soon.
Hopefully, give those two something.
Right,
and then Sonya's basically just been a backstage presence, not much, literally much. Then we will see them after that. We moved into a WrestleMania 40 documentary video package, basically kind of showing us what we're going to be getting once this drops. I think in like November or something like that. I forget when.
It dropped on Wednesday.
Oh, it dropped on Wednesday?
It dropped on Wednesday on YouTube. I watched it already. That shit was fucking hype.
I need to watch it then.
It was a pretty cool documentary.
Then we move into Seth freaking Rollins and his promo. Yeah. And he goes, Boston, welcome to Monday Night Rollins. I love Rollins, dude. I was actually in Boston. I was in the Boston area a week before, or literally that weekend before the one in Indianapolis.
That's crazy. You're in Indy when they went to Raw, or no, you're in. Oh, never mind.
I was in Boston a week before the Monday Night Raw. They were there, and I came home, and I was going to watch we were wanting to go to the Indianapolis one, but unfortunately, we did not. Probably going to the one in Evansville, September 30th or something like that. We'll talk about it later, though.
Yeah.
And he goes, I am a visionary, or he goes, he is a visionary. Wait, oh, fuck, I don't know. I am a visionary. I am a revolutionary. I am Seth freaking Rollins. And then confetti started falling because we were in Boston. We're in the TD Garden, so where the Boston Celtics play. They just won the NBA championship, and their colors were kind of falling down through the rafters. I don't know if it was on purpose or if it was by mistake, but it wasn't a lot. It was just very little, very minuscule.
Yeah, it was.
And he basically is going to predict that he wins at Money in the Bank. And he has a secret to Boston because they're a championship city. You got the Boston Bruins, the Boston Red Sox, the New England Patriots, and your 2024 NBA champions, the Boston Celtics. If my girlfriend's dad listens to this, I don't like any of those teams. They all suck. But he brings up the confetti colors with the Celtics, and the secret he needs is to win back his World Heavyweight Championship. He can't settle for second best, can't settle for anything less than a championship, and if he doesn't win at Money in the Bank, he's gonna have to reevaluate, like we said earlier. He's gonna have to reevaluate who Seth Rollins is and what he can do from there, because he performs at his very best when the pressure is the hardest. And music hits. For some reason, I was waiting for Damien's thing to click, and nothing clicked. And I was like, wait. And it was Finn Balor. He comes out. He's getting booed. And he goes, well, Rollins, you should be in a good mood he goes, I should be in a good mood, but I'm in a bad mood. Everything around Raw seems to be changing. What it means to me in Judgment Day is changing. Damien's changing. And Finn looks at Seth. He goes, I blame you for Damien's actions. And Seth kind of fires back, and he goes, Are you jealous that you can't get what Priest has? Talking about the World Heavyweight Championship, which I thought was really funny. But like again, it kind of ties back to their SummerSlam 2016 match where Finn won the Universal title but had to let it go the next night because of a shoulder injury.
It still hurts.
It still hurts. They need to give him the world title and see how far he can go.
To hear that happen.
Because honestly, I would if instead of Priest being in that ladder match last year at Money in the Bank, and they would have put Balor in and Balor would have won it, I think I would not have been pissed if Balor would have been holding the World Heavyweight Championship.
So excited. I would have been so happy if it was Balor that instead of Priest that had done it. Like, nothing against Damian Priest, obviously. Damian's doing good in what his job and all that, but Balor's my freaking guy. If Balor had been put in that spot instead, bro, oh dude, I would have lost my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wouldn't have even been mad that last year LA Knight didn't win it.
Bro, LA Knight was the huge favorite, and I'm slowly starting to learn stuff, everything, because I didn't start getting back into wrestling until SummerSlam 2023. But like with talking a lot or deeply with you, and then me getting a deep diving shit into myself and paying attention more and more, I realized like this is like it's not a what did they the Wyndham Six post or something like that. I forget what it was. I forget what account exactly on Twitter it was, but it had to do with now I'm kind of upset I don't know because it was just about wrestling, and it gave the perfect definition of wrestling in my eyes.
There's a video I think on YouTube on WrestleMania, and it's like talking about what wrestling is and all that, and like why we love professional wrestling and all the best parts about it. And it's a really good video. I think you should check out.
I will. Where you said it's on what, YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. I think it's WrestleMania.
Right here. It was the Wyatt Six. It was a Wyatt Six tweet from August 7th, 2022. Wrestling is not a love story. It's a fairy tale for masochists, a comedy for people who criticize punchlines, a fantasy and most can't understand, a spectacle no one can deny. Lines are blurred, heroes are villains, budgets are cut, business is business. And I was just like, that probably perfectly describes wrestling almost. It's it's a fantasy. It's like you're back being a kid.
Seriously, like you have moments that literally will take you back to being a child. It's insane.
Yeah, but this is what the rest of it says.
Nothing like the sports.
It's its own thing. It's nothing you can't deny.
It's not like anything else. It's not fully legit. It's not fully scripted. It's not like fully an act. It's not fully like everyone's beating the shit out of each other all the time. It's like the perfect mix of it. And like when it's done right, dude, like WrestleMania 40 was like the perfect example. When it's done right, it's so freaking awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree to that. The rest of it says though, but it can also be a land where dead men walk, where your honor makes you elite, where demons run for office, and rock bottom is a reason to rejoice. Woo! It's an escape. A reason to point the blame at anyone but yourself for 2 to 3 hours, an excuse to be a kid again, and nothing matters except the moment we are in. Wrestling is not a love story, it's much more. It's hope. In a world surrounded in hate, greed, and violence, a world where closure may never come, we all know a place that has hot and cold, hope on top, for better or for worse.
Man,
and I thought that was just
fire
awesome.
Post. That was a fire post. We gotta make sure we need to retweet that shit.
I already done retweeted it.
Steal that.
Don't worry. Yeah.
We need to steal that shit.
You need to. I don't know if you're logged into our Twitter account, but whenever you get a chance to, I would. Ooh. I'm okay. I got some shit to do later for this, but where am I? So now let's get back into what we were talking about. Damian comes out after Finn, starts talking to shit to Rollins, and Seth goes, "Oh, this is what it is, the Judgment Day trap. because he knows what it's about. He knows he did it with the Shield, so he gets it. And Damien's like, dude, this isn't a trap because no one else is gonna get in my business. And he goes, it's just you and me, Seth. The days that Rollins runs Raw are numbered. And Seth wants to fight Priest right there, right now. And Balor tries to attack Rollins, but Rollins reverses and was able to, or ends up getting attacked anyways by Finn. And Priest pulls Finn off of Rollins, which would end up him and Finn getting super kicked by Rollins. And Rollins gives Finn a curb stomp, and then Priest comes in and gives a South of Heaven to Rollins. And El Campeon is standing on top once again.
Campeon.
El Campeon.
Priest coming in here looking like a badass.
He's looking like more of a legitimate champion day by day.
Mm-hmm. I would like to see him. Maybe I do want to see him kind of like step out. I'm with Seth Rollins here. I kind of want to see him go out on his own 2 feet and as like a full singles guy at some point, though.
Okay,
Kind of ready for him. Ready for him to feud with Finn and break out on his own. Maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm ready for him to leave Judgment Day, feud with Finn, and go be his own man. Maybe go like be like a hunt. Maybe like have him hunt down the entire Judgment Day one by one after they like eventually turn on him.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, I want Finn's head, I want JD's giant head, and I want Dom's mustache. Hanging on my wall.
Oh, fuck. Give me 1 second. Type something in. Yeah. I think I would. Dude, honestly, what if David still holds the title at SummerSlam? What if he beats Gunther?
I'd cry.
Like, just think about it. That would.
I'd be really
I hate to say this, but that would push him more as a legitimate champion instead of the transitional. Because personally, I still see him as a transitional. I don't like him as a real champion, in my eyes. That's just.
I agree with you. He doesn't feel like the most legit world champion, especially when you have like Cody Rhodes as the champion on SmackDown, and you have Gunther, and you have Gunther looming in the background on Raw. Like Damien definitely feels like a transitional champion.
Yeah. I think this whole thing with Rhea too isn't helping Damien's case either, because Damien keeps getting asked about Rhea as well.
Bro, could you imagine the sight if Rhea and Damien were both still world champions in Judgment Day? I think that would help Damien, if anything.
Yes, and then him or Finn and JD have the tag titles.
And Dom has his giant plate of chicken nuggets.
Honestly, I would give. Dude, it's gonna sound like a crazy hot take. Give Dom the IC title. Make Judgment Day have all the titles so they legitimately run Raw.
Oh no! Oh no! Put him in the. You know how we've been talking about having this fatal 4-way between Braun Breaker, Sheamus, Sami Zayn, and Kaiser for the IC title.
Yeah.
Get a 5-way and put Dom in it.
Dom does a sneaky little shit. Braun Breaker hits a spear. Dom throws out Breaker. God. Dom hits the pin for the 1, 2, 3.
Oh no!
That would be cooked.
That'd be cooked, bro.
But let's move. Speaking of Ludwig Kaiser, we move into a video promo. He's injured, and he's blaming Sheamus for his broken ribs, and just basically calls Sheamus a coward. And when he comes back, he's basically looking for blood.
Yeah,
and honestly, what if Kaiser brings back the IC title to Imperium, tries to replicate Gunther's reign, but fails, and as Gunther's holding the world title, he kind of just looks at Kaiser and shrugs him off because, they're basically replaying the Giovanni thing, but they're going to play deeper into it because Ludwig is Gunther's mouthpiece. Essentially, they would look better together than what Gunther and Giovanni would have been.
Right, true.
Speaking of which, we have yet to see his ass on SmackDown.
Yet to see him. He's still just presumably dead from Kaiser drop kicking his head.
Yeah, honestly.
No, I think that's a good idea too. I've heard that this is a legitimate injury. He is like legitimately broken ribs, so I really hope that he is back in time for SummerSlam, because I really want them to do that Fatal 4-Way with
That would
him,
be
Sheamus,
awesome.
and Breaker at that show.
Kind of keep him on TV and just have him come out for promos, essentially.
Yeah, like have him just be shit talking Sheamus the entire time, and have him
Yeah.
like hide behind like management or security, being like, "I'm not cleared. I'm not cleared. You can't touch me, Sheamus. You can't touch me."
That would be perfect. Or honestly, kind of play into what I was saying with him and Gunther. Make Gunther be the bodyguard.
Yeah, have Gunther stand between them, and have Sheamus be
Yeah.
like standing there like, "Man, I really don't want to fight Gunther for a fourth time just to get
Smacking
the
man
Kaiser.
meat.
Smacking man meat."
So we then move into Davian and Finn walking backstage. And Davian's like, dude, please just He's like, dude, to Finn, please just stay away because I need to do this on my own. And Finn's like, okay. Just okay.
Yeah.
Like I get it. But Finn doesn't really seem too pleased by that.
Yeah, he was definitely kind of like shrugging him off. He was like, he was like, well, all right, fine. And like he even left Damien hanging when he went for a fist bump. Like, bro, you don't do that to your bro, man.
Mm-mm.
Something's up. Something's cooking.
Then we move in to the Money in the Bank women's qualifier, the final match. Dakota Kai versus Zoe Stark versus Ivan Out. I was upset with this outcome.
Me too. I think for a different reason, though.
I wanted Dakota Kai to win.
I wanted Ivy Nile.
I wanted Dakota Kai to win. But we ended up seeing Zoe Stark take the dub. So let's just get into the match. Out there popping off with some big moves. We hit the commercial. And when we come back, there's a double bulldog from Ivy off the top rope. And Ivy starts suplexing everyone and ends up with her giving both Zoe and Kai a double German. Ivy keeps suplexing people, and Zoe keeps hitting knees. Kai hits a crazy pile driver into her knees, and Kyrie comes out to cause a distraction only for an all the chaos. Zoe with his Z360 for the W. I did want to point out Io's not too happy with this. I don't think she's gonna be either.
Mm-mm.
And but Io could be the first ever women's back-to-back Money in the Bank winner.
True, she could be
On Saturday. So, but after the match, the Unholy Union attacked Dakota Kai and Kyrie saying, "Oh man," and basically kind of just solidify himself as champion because last week there was that big brawl and shit. But we could finally get to move into what everybody was anticipating for all night long when Chad Gable was out.
Hold on. Player.
Okay.
Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to go into this women's Money in the Bank qualifier a little bit more. I wanted Ivy Nile to win, and I was really upset she didn't win because I really liked the idea of like Maxine Dupree failing to qualify to get into women's Money in the Bank. Ivy Nile succeeds to qualify for women's Money in the Bank, and that just pushes the idea of Chad Gable wanting to form Perk Academy with the Creeds more than he wants to reform Alpha Academy with Otis, Maxine, and Tozawa.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
That was just a little tidbit I wanted to add in there.
I do want to. That's my fault. Let me throw you an idea with Dakota Kai. Let Dakota Kai be in this and give her her push. Finally, give her her push.
She does really want that push. I've seen a video of her basically like crying on social media asking for it.
Yeah, she was crying on Twitch stream.
Mm-hmm.
Which we might eventually move to
Cody Crybaby.
At some point. Cody Crybabies. If we do, it would be twitch.tv/AR Wrestling. Nothing crazy.
True, it would be.
But let's move into probably my most anticipated part of the night, the VHS tape.
Me too. I was on the edge of my seat for this.
I was again typing my notes, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop halfway through, and I was just watching it. I was in awe. We saw the Pluto symbol, then we saw Taylor and Uncle Howdy. I'm not gonna call him Bodas. I'm gonna call him Taylor. This is purely Taylor, like I've been saying.
It fits better.
And Taylor is asking, how much longer are we gonna keep doing this? What are we even doing here? And it cuts to a wide shot between him and Uncle Howdy with the Firefly Funhouse door again that we seen last week, and Howdy goes, do you honestly believe you brought them to life? And Taylor said, I was destined to. Howdy then says, do you think you're special? Taylor would end up having a reply with, special implies others are not. We are the ones that everyone abandoned and forgotten about. We made them notice us. Kind of, pointing out how all of them were lower mid card to jobbers all at one point. And Howdy goes, there you are. And then we see a Huskis to Pig puppet glitch, which all the puppets would end up popping up through this. Taylor would then say, we've become a family. They must pay for their sins. Howdy says, and you think this is your responsibility? Taylor would say, I am the voice of the reckoning. And Howdy goes, I am the reckoning. And I got chills when they said that. When they both said their lines right there, because I was just like, what? That just shows like this is a split personality more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And they both say at once, I am nobody, I am all of us. Just again adding on to that split personality, kind of like with Bray and the Fiend.
Exactly.
And then we would see a bunch of camera switches between Taylor and Uncle Howdy, and which would end up with Taylor sitting alone in the Firefly Funhouse, and all the masks come up of all the people in it, and then Uncle Howdy would fade in as Taylor fades out, and then there would be just, there you are. And then we would again get the Nikki Cross jump scare.
Yeah. This is insane. I fucking love
the fact
it.
that they're playing
I
more
love
into
this.
reality is just amazing. I'm loving it as well.
I absolutely love all of this. I'm with you, dude. When they started saying their lines together, like especially when Taylor said, I am the voice of the reckoning, and then Uncle Howdy goes, I am the reckoning. I was like, oh, that's so hard.
It was, I sat there and I was like, oh, okay.
That was a bar and a half. It was so dope. I'm excited for this. I'm ready to see like Uncle Howdy really like pop off on some fools and start murking people.
Uh-huh.
And I really hope they do pull maybe like I don't know, that wouldn't really work because like I almost tried to say like Taylor could be like the merciful half of the split personality where he's like I was gonna say maybe where he's trying to like hold Uncle Howdy back from trying to hurt people, but that doesn't make sense with what they were saying in here. He definitely wants to like unleash Uncle Howdy on everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for them to finally get their in-ring competition going as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I only think this is like, as the whole thing was going on with the QR codes, I think this is only going to go so far if they just keep doing the video promos and the VHS tapes. But now we're basically getting QR codes on Raw that are given to us by them already because they're here. We're basically getting more, in a sense, QR codes that we have to somewhat depict.
Mm-hmm.
But instead we are depicting what's actually happening between Taylor and Uncle Howdy and the setting and everything else.
Exactly. I'm still holding out to hopefully see a video. I agree with you. There's only so far that doing a bunch of interviews like this can go before we need to see them wrestle. It is a wrestling show after all.
Mm-hmm.
But I really want to see them do a video series of each member of the Wyatt Six doing their own interviews, maybe being interviewed by Uncle Howdy or by their own Wyatt Six personality.
Yeah, when you said that, I thought that's what they were going to do. I was kind of waiting for it. I was waiting for like a Nikki Cross or like a Eric Rowan or Joe Gacy or
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking was going to happen.
Dexter.
But I'm still freaking pumped with what they did with Taylor. If they still doing it with just him and Howdy, and have him be the voice of the Wyatts, explaining what their motives are.
Do you think that what Nikki Cross with being her big sister Abigail, she's the equivalent to Uncle Howdy, as with Alexa kind of playing Lilith, she was the equivalent to the Fiend?
Maybe. I think she is. I think she will eventually be if Alexa Bliss doesn't eventually fill that spot herself.
Because I'm kind of holding out for Bray being the sixth member, the spiritual sixth member.
That would be super cool. That would be absolutely insane. But I also have heard I'm not advocating for this. I really like the idea of Bray being the sixth member in spirit. But I've also heard people being like, the six members of the Wyatt Six make up Bray Wyatt as the six pieces of his soul, or the six like bits of his
Or like of
personality,
his
as they
mind.
all represent a different part of him. Like Eric Rowan's his
Yeah.
past, Bo is his brother, Dexter Loomis represents like the creepier side, Joe Gacy represents the brutality side, Nikki Cross or Alexa Bliss can represent the like peaceful, like gentler side maybe. And then all together,
You do know what all the puppets stand for, right?
not really at all. I just bullshitted up most of that
So
together.
Huskus the Pig, who's Joe Gacy, is
Yeah,
Bray's past as Husky Harris. Eric
exactly.
Rowan is Ramblin' Rabbit as just Bray's mind, basically, how he was always running and with the ideas and the creative flow is just crazy. Obviously, Uncle Howdy being Bo, but not necessarily his brother. It was, I forget what it was. Nikki Cross, obviously, Sister Abigail. Um, Dexter Loomis was actually who's playing Mercy the Buzzard was Mercy the Buzzard is actually
His
where Bray got his
inspiration.
inspiration from Mercy or Waylon Mercy, which could have played out, which was way ahead of its time. Waylon Mercy 100% was,
Oh yeah.
but with the White Six and them targeting Chad Gable, we move into Otis sitting alone eating at like a bar or something, and Chad walks in. He goes, he swears the White Six video was about him, and Gable's apologizing for everything he did to Otis. He goes, "I know you hate me." Otis says, "I don't hate you, but aren't helping you. We're not helping you. This is your fault." And Chad's kind of worried about the other members of the Alpha Academy, like Tozawa and Maxine. And he says that he'll always be there for Otis because he's his number one man. And he kind of says it aggressively. And Tozawa and Maxine would then walk in, and Chad leaves, and they're kind of just there for Otis as everything's been happening. And I don't think Maxine's gonna change Otis's mind whatsoever.
Mm-mm. I think
After everything that Otis has been saying throughout the weeks, I don't think it's gonna
I
happen.
don't think at all. I think Otis should stay strong on this. Go Otis. I do want to see
Yeah,
eventually see them like do a feud or some shit.
yeah, like place something into like don't push the Alpha Academy to the side. Like let
Yeah,
Otis
come on now.
do his thing
Yeah,
because
everyone
I
got
could see
behind him
Otis
like
as a
that.
legitimate contender, like almost like a Bronson Reed style contender, just an absolute wrecking ball of a fucking unit.
Yeah, right. I do think this was the Wyatt Six video where he said something about like a false prophet manipulating his own family for his self gains, where
Hmm.
that's clearly about Chad Gable, and right now he's clearly still trying to manipulate the Alpha Academy and do his circle and shit like that. So I don't think Otis should fall for it. I think Otis needs to stay strong, and I just want to see Otis like beat the shit out of this guy still.
Yeah, I mean, with you saying the false prophets using his family for his own gain, I mean, Roman did the same thing.
Bro, if they go after Roman Reigns, my dad said that. I was watching this with my
You know, say
dad. My dad looked over at me, and this is the first thing he said. He goes, Roman Reigns. And I go, what? He goes, they're going after Roman Reigns next. And I'm like, oh no.
that's
I,
not a bad
that
idea.
wouldn't be a bad idea, though. It wouldn't be a bad idea. At some
Mm-mm.
point, I would like to see a war between family versus family, the Wyatt family or Wyatt Six versus Roman's Anoa'i family, his tribe, his family, his chief. He's the head of the table.
Mhm. This would now move us into Rey Mysterio versus Dominic
Oh my,
Mysterio.
oh god, my brain blew up. Oh
And
no.
as Rey comes out, Dom's music cuts off Rey's music. Rey's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, come on now. Um, but this, where is it? Did we skip a match? I feel like we did. No, we did not skip a match. Um, where is it?
Oh
You
no,
still have a match from last week. It's fine.
yeah.
But Ray and Dom are flying around for a little bit until Ray gives him a hurricane rana, or gives Dom a hurricane rana to the outside onto the barricade. We cut to a commercial, and Dom is taking control when we come back, throwing Ray to the ground and hitting a back elbow. And there's a bunch of shave your mustache chants. Dom tries to get a cocky pin on Ray. Where'd it go? And on Ray using his foot. Ray would then flatten Dom with a springboard crossbody after he gets up, and then Liv comes out to ringside. And Ray tells Liv to leave, and Ray flattened, or no, where to go? Dom would lock in a half crab on Ray, and after Ray reaches the ropes, he hits the three amigos, but Ray would end up countering the third, setting up Dom for a 619. And Liv would end up pulling Dom out of the ring, and Ray kicks him as he lands on top of Liv. And as he's trying to get up, Liv is interlocking her legs with Dom's as he's trying to get up. And Zelina comes out, attacks Liv after she yells at Ray for pulling Dom off of her. And why is it wait?
This is just something I put.
Crazy. After she yells at Ray for pulling. Okay. Dom would hit Ray with a 619 and is about to hit a splash when Zelina is pulled off the apron by. Or no, Liv is pulled off the apron by Zelina, which stuns Dom on the top rope. Oh, Dom hits Ray with the 619, not the other way around. And then Ray would now hit a Dom with a 619 and a splash while Dom was on the top rope for the win. And basically, Liv was like, that was my moment. And Liv's, as like, Dom's pissed. Dom's pissed he lost the match against his dad. So he walks around ringside and Liv's just falling and blaming herself for Dom's loss, saying that she'll fix it. And she's begging, just absolutely begging Dom to not be mad at her. But probably my favorite part about this entire thing was what happened on Twitter. Dom tweeted out after the match, "My dad's a bitch. He can't beat me clean."
Did he really? Did he really?
Yes. I'm serious. Yes, he did.
That's wild.
It was... I'd seen it. I was like, no shot he just said that.
That's wild.
Let me see if I can't find it. I don't know if I had it word for word. He's got shit for Money in the Bank on here, damn it.
Well, this is the third. This is the third match he's lost to his dad.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to do a retirement match. Mustache versus mask.
I just happened to be scrolling through Dom's thing trying to find the post. And WrestleMania, like the YouTube channel you mentioned earlier, they had posted something on Twitter saying longest veterans in WWE. Seth Rollins, 14 years. The Miz, 18 years. Roman Reigns, 14 years. John Cena, 22 years. Randy Orton, 22 years. And Dominic Mysterio, 18 years.
The fucking SummerSlam match. God damn it. The SummerSlam match with Eddie and Ray. They're counting that.
That was his debut.
Wild.
That was the debut. Dom was born in 97, so he's gonna be 28 like next year. He's like 27 right now.
Dang.
Yeah, but after the match he posted, "My dad's a bitch."
Yeah, I think this would build to eventually Rey Mysterio, maybe at WrestleMania 41, Rey Mysterio's retirement match. Mask versus Dominic, all of
Mask
Dominic's
versus hair.
His mullet and his mustache.
I don't think it's gonna happen though, because Ray's wanting to stay to help elevate Dom as much as he can, and Ray doesn't plan on retiring till I think it's like 2028. I think is when he wants to retire.
Oh my god, he's got that long left in him, which is absolutely insane, bro.
And the way he moves at his age is just absolutely insane.
He's not normal. He's not. He had knee surgery last year, and he's still doing it. He's insane. He's not human. He's not human.
Then we would move into a Sheamus promo video, basically talking about his time in WWE, how he's trying to fight and everything. He's wanting more because he has more left in the tank, essentially. Then we would learn that Shinsuke Nakamura was in Las Vegas for his friend's fight. I didn't catch his friend's name in time as I was typing all this shit out. And I just want to point out they haven't done shit with Shinsuke.
True. They haven't done anything with him since he feuded with Cody.
They need to do something with Shinsuke. You need to do something with Shinsuke. You cannot let that talent go to waste.
Agreed. Like, Shinsuke is awesome. I like Shinsuke a lot. I really liked Shinsuke a while ago before he kicked AJ Styles in the dick at WrestleMania and kind of just lost his way after that.
Mm-hmm.
But
So his match at Fastlane with Rollins was really good.
it
I like that
was.
last man standing match, whatever it was.
He was really good in that. Shinsuke's awesome. Like he's so
Dude, he almost
underrated.
won the match. It was right there. It was literally in his grasp. And
Literally.
Rollins ended up countering him with the fucking pedigree and hit, like, I think he hit a stomp for the win or something like that.
It was like, bro,
It
it
was
was a Falcon
nuts.
arrow off the balcony through a table.
Oh, that's what that was something
It was
crazy. It
through
was
the it
nuts
was an
though.
audience. It was like right in
Hmm.
front of us. Like we
It
just
was
barely saw it.
the way, yeah, where we were sitting, we could barely see it, but we were there for that, and it was absolutely awesome.
Mm. It was
Still kind of pissed though that we were there for Jay and Cody winning the tag titles, but they only held them for 10 days. Just want to point that out.
And we were there for the win though. That moment
Yeah, we were there
was
for the W.
unreal. We blew. I lost my voice, and that was the opening match.
That was, oh my god, that was awesome. But then we move into a Sami Zayn promo. Talks about his match in Toronto. He's not stupid. He hears the buzz and chatter, and everyone seems to think that Breaker is going to run right through Zayn at Money in the Bank. He gives him his props though. He's an athletic freak. Like, dude's insane. He's fast. He's strong. He's insane. He's agile. Whatever. But he said that he's going to beat Braun Breaker at Money in the Bank, which would then lead to Braun Breaker coming out, and he goes, Sammy, you've gained a little bit of my respect. And he really gives him that props because Sammy went to Breaker to find the fight. Breaker didn't go to him. Sammy went to Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
And Breaker tells him that he basically has guts and he has no idea what he's in for. Because Breaker's going to decimate Sammy, fold him in half, and become the new IC champion. And even though Sammy has been told many times that even though Sami Zayn has been told many, many times that he is not going to win the match, Gunther, WrestleMania 40 is a great match. And you didn't know if he was going to win.
True.
He still beat Gunther to become the IC champion. Still did it.
Damn straight.
He basically
Only three people have ever
tells
done it.
Braun, he wants him to try and take the IC title away from him. And Sammy says that Braun hasn't done his homework since he still has to learn about Sammy. And maybe you're just not as good as you think you are, which Sammy was saying that to Braun. And Braun's like, okay, whatever. He goes to leave the ring, but he ends up bouncing off the ropes and he ends up kind of, faking and spears Sammy, folding him in half. And Sammy's outside the other side of the ring and Breaker's up by the ramp. And again, he runs the ring and going for the spear, but Sammy ends up leapfrogging over Breaker, sending Breaker right into the ring steps. And we would see them both go at it. And we would Sammy looked like he was going to be on top for a little bit here because he ends up giving Breaker an exploder into the corner. And as Sammy goes for the hula kick, he just gets absolutely folded in half by Braun Breaker getting speared. And I mean, dude, that just kind of is helping Breaker more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
Wait to see. I think Breaker might I don't know if Breaker's gonna walk away with the belt though, because I'm still holding out for that fatal 4-way. I'd like to see Breaker maybe win it there.
Yeah, kind of just. Yeah.
Maybe Sammy can barely sneak out a victory at Money in the Bank. Maybe.
So, if Breaker loses at Money in the Bank, how does he react on Raw?
By killing everybody.
He just keeps going on this tear.
Quite literally, I think there was an episode of SmackDown or Raw. I can't remember which one. It was a long time ago. It was before you and me were born, I think. Maybe. When Stone Cold Steve Austin lost a match at one point, or lost his title, got screwed out of his title, and so he just kept going to the ring during every match during the show and just stunnering people until they stopped the match and called for security on him, and he just did that for 3 matches in a row. Breaker can do that. Come out there and just spear everybody until Sammy is like, "You want your rematch? All right, you got your rematch." And then Sheamus can be and can come out and be like, "Hold on, fella, I want my match now."
You had your match, now I get mine.
Yeah. I kind of do. Dude.
Yeah, I kind of want that match.
Yeah. Yeah, I want that match bad.
Then we would move into Kathy Kelly with Damage Control backstage, and she asked Dakota Kai, "Does Kai's chances, or does Jesus Christ, does Io's chances at winning Money in the Bank, are they worse now than what they were?" And Dakota Kai's like, "No," and she says that she wants everyone to stay out of Damage Control's business. And Lyra starts walking in, talking her shit, and then Katana Chance and Kata Carter come flying into frames, absolutely going balls to the wall against Damage Control. Lyra in there taking, just everybody's fighting backstage, dude. It was nuts.
It was insane.
And like for a second there, it looked like Katana Chance and Kata Carter both accidentally hit Lyra as they were flying in.
Yeah, straight up.
So I don't know.
This was insane, bro. They just walked out there and just started jumping fools. Bro, when she shrieked, I can't remember which one of us, it was one of the tag team girls, shrieked right before they attacked Damage Control, and it scared the piss out of me. Like, legitimate. I was, like, looking at my phone or something, typing notes, I think, and I just heard, it was like, what the fuck?
That's definitely a Katana Chance. She loves to scream. But this move into the Bloodline video package from Friday, basically talking about everything that we're basically going over what happened from last Friday, and with the acknowledgement ceremony and what happened to Heyman in Madison Square Garden, literally not that long ago. Let me get back up because I just scrolled down to those notes to make sure I was saying everything correctly. And I mean, I don't have much for the Bloodline, but I want to see them absolutely just I'm not a big fan of Solo being Tribal Chief. I'm not a big fan of how they're playing it because Solo just doesn't have that aura to me. Unlike maybe, like I had to say it, but maybe like Jacob would be better.
Kind of does. I'm not gonna lie. It's been one week and he already does.
But I think it was before the talks of Jacob coming in. It was just kept having hints and hints and hints at Solo becoming the tribal chief until Roman said, "Okay, you are my tribal heir now. You are now going to be the one that takes my Ulafala when I step down as tribal chief."
That's completely right. I watched this is a couple days ago, but WWE posted a playlist of like wildest bloodline brawls of all time, and like part of it was like part of the promos leading into the brawls. And I remember there was an Uso promo going into Money in the Bank last year where the Usos talked about, we don't want Roman as our tribal chief no more, and we don't want to, and neither of us want to be tribal chief, but we both sign off on Solo becoming the tribal chief. And Roman Reigns just like started cackling at the thought of Solo becoming tribal chief. And then Solo just gives him this death stare.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know exactly what you're talking about with the video, but I seen only the promos for it, or it was like an edit on TikTok or something. It was something interesting. But Roman, Solo. Because right now the plan main event for SummerSlam is Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa for the WWE Championship. I'm still holding strong on Roman coming back at SummerSlam. What if Roman comes back at SummerSlam and cost Solo? Instead of helping Solo, he costs Solo.
Helps Cody. Oh my god!
Because Solo had not even helping Cody. It's just more or less costing Solo because Solo has supposedly talked to Roman. Supposedly, we don't know. We don't actually know. We're just hearing things at this point. What if Solo's actually never talked to Roman and Solo's just pulling all the strings himself?
Or there's somebody else pulling the strings, and he didn't call Roman, he called the final boss. He does keep saying we.
That's true.
He keeps dropping this we in there every now and then, and I want to know who the we is. That doesn't sound right, but you know what I meant.
Yeah. I definitely, because Rock's supposed to have a match against Roman at WrestleMania 40, so honestly that could lead right into it. Have Roman and Solo at Royal Rumble, and then Rock and Roman at WrestleMania.
Hell yeah. Or Rock and Cody, like they've been talking about a little bit.
I hope they don't give us Rock and Cody. I want Rock. I would be okay with Rock and
Don't?
Roman at this WrestleMania. I don't want Rock and Cody. Sorry,
Really?
I don't,
I wouldn't mind it.
because I'm tired of The Rock. Kind of, in the sense he's kind of he almost to a degree he's playing into this more of what he did to CM Punk back in like 2014, 2013, whenever the hell it was, when Punk was holding the WWE Championship, lost it to Rock at Royal Rumble, and then now we saw a new title.
You need to watch the WrestleMania documentary.
I
It's
will.
not. It's gonna intensify your thoughts on everything you're thinking right now way more.
Oh, Jesus. No,
Yeah,
that's
Rocky's
interesting.
definitely. I like the idea of doing Rock versus Cody at WrestleMania just because it's like the dream match of what they've been hyping up since 40. But Roman
Yeah.
versus Rock, in my opinion, makes more sense just because of the story that they're doing right now with like the bloodline seemingly building slowly to a civil war between the
Mhm.
old bloodline and the new one. And so
Right.
it makes more sense for that to like the exclamation for all of that to be Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania. But man, what you can do with Cody, dude, there's
You can
so
do a lot
many
with Cody.
better options for Cody than The Rock. There's so many better options. Randy,
I'm
you
telling
can
you, Randy.
do
Randy keeps looking at that damn title, dude.
you can do heel Seth Rollins, like a very desperate Seth Rollins. Like he's blown out all of his opportunities on Raw. And remember, at the end of 40 this year, he said, "Cody, you owe me one because of whatever I did for you over WrestleMania." So you can have him be
Mhm.
like, "Hey, Cody, it's time to cash in, baby. Like
It's time to cashing that thought.
give me what I want." Type shit
What
at
if?
him.
And that's gonna be like a real hot take, because I just said um Roman, or not Roman, Randy and Cody. What if we see Rollins win Royal Rumble and challenge Cody
That'd be awesome.
instead, and let Gunther kind of reign in as the uh um Gunther basically kind of help build the World Heavyweight Championship more than what it is right now.
I feel you exactly. I like the idea that well, Seth Rollins, like, if he loses his match against Damian, he won't be able to challenge for the title again. But presumably,
Yeah,
Damian's gonna lose the title to Gunther at SummerSlam, right? So that
if
stipulation
that's
only lasts
if that's if
for
Rollins loses.
that's if Rollins loses. Correct. Got to keep that in mind. But then that stipulation only lasts for like 4 weeks. And so Gunther wins it again. You can have Seth be Gunther's first opponent and have Gunther whoop Seth, honestly. I would have Gunther like maybe squash Seth. And so you
Mhm.
have Seth be like, I just like basically got kicked out of the world title scene because I lost. Gunther just whooped my ass, so I can't go back after the world title now. And so that'd be like his breaking point where he goes heel, maybe tries to go to SmackDown and tries to target Cody Rhodes by winning the Royal Rumble later in the year or earlier next year.
Like like he said, he needs to reevaluate almost.
Yeah, like he's like blown out all of his options. Like, he lost, like, assuming this is going down the trail that he does lose at Money in the Bank. I don't know if he will. I don't think he will, honestly.
Yeah, I
So
want
assuming
Rollins
he
to win.
does, then that's like, well, you can have like a month of Seth Rollins just spiraling on Monday Night Raw. Like, what am I supposed to do? Go after the IC title? Do I find somebody to go after the tag titles with? Do I go to Speed? Do I go try to go to SmackDown? Do I go to NXT? Like that, Seth Rollins tries everything, and just eventually, like, he has to go to SmackDown and be like, Cody, I've run out of all my options, bro. You got to give me a shot at the title. Like, remember
Basically
what I
talking
did for
about how
you.
he helped him. Hmm.
Like, remember what I did for you. You have to do this for me now.
Yeah, basically, yeah, like you said, cash that thought in.
hmm I
But I
like
mean,
that.
that's all I got for that. You want to move right into the right to Elias promo? We did a little video promo package.
Oh my gosh, bro. This main event blew my mind. It was insane.
Um, this was a absolute banger
I loved it. I
of
love every minute of it.
uh
I had a great
match.
time. I just
Um,
sitting there enjoyed it.
During the entrances, Drew would end up handing, or wait, hold on, no. Ilya's video promo package about Money in the Bank brings up Braun Breaker, how he's an absolute animal, and he says it's win the qualifier and Money in the Bank or die. I like how Ilya just is committed. This Mad Dragon commitment is absolutely incredible.
Hell yeah, let's go, Ilya.
Where am I at? Drew would end up handing Michael Cole CM Punk's bracelet during his entrance of the Money in the Bank qualifier with him, Sheamus, and Ilya. Michael Cole would then do his best Pat McAfee impression for Sheamus. It's fight night. Then he would say, "Sorry, Pat," because like I said, Pat's not there, but that's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop Michael Cole from yeeting and all that without Michael Cole or without him, because he's just been yeeting all over the place. So we get in the match. Sheamus and Drew are staring off, and Drew is basically shoving Ilya away from him and Sheamus. And holy Hannah. Ilya would, like I said, try getting in the face of Sheamus and Drew, but Drew would shove him away a few times until Ilya absolutely just goes in, and Sheamus and Ilya start beating the hell out of each other. Sheamus then lays everyone out with backbreakers. Everyone brawls into the outside when Ilya pushes Drew into the ring post. You put it here, I don't know what it looked like. He actually headbutted that thing, and I heard it start ringing. What do you like, the ring post?
Damn straight, bro. Ilya shoved Drew straight into that post. I don't know if it's because of how hard he just hit it, but it looked like he fucking headbutted that thing straight on. And I heard that thing start ringing. I heard the ring post go boom. You can hear it through the camera audio. It was nuts.
Probably.
Collided with that thing.
We see the 10 beats in the badge from Sheamus onto the barricade, I believe it was Drew. We would cut to commercial, and Drew and Sheamus are going at it until Drew knocks Sheamus away and starts throwing Ilya around like a little fucking ragdoll. We see a top rope clothesline from Sheamus onto Drew, and then a top rope drop kick to the head of Drew, and an H-bomb off the apron to the outside onto Sheamus. Then we would cut to commercial. Then there'd be a giant suplex from McIntyre to Sheamus, as Ilya would give him a suplex from the the middle rope. And I can't. Then we see a Constantine special from Ilya onto Sheamus, and a Glasgow kiss from Drew to Ilya. Ilya was able to counter Claymore with the Torpedo Moscow, and then Sheamus stops a coast to coast from Ilya with a knee to the face, and that looked absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. Then we would see a bro kick from Sheamus, where Drew would pull Ilya out of the ring into the timekeeper's area, and Sheamus and Drew are starting to slug it out until Sheamus would end up hitting the 10 beats again, and then they get into the ring. Drew would absolutely eat a knee from Sheamus and run the ropes to hit a Claymore or the W, sending Drew to Toronto for Money in the Bank. And we would end up having Kathy Kelly come out to the ring, and the Drew said, "I told you I was going to win this war, and that I'm leaving Toronto World Heavyweight Champion." I thought he was just saying Mr. Money in the Bank. No, he balls to the wall, World Heavyweight Champion. He's
leaving with the belt.
He's leaving. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Drew McIntyre.
Fucking love this guy. So at this point, I've had to switch my Money in the Bank pick 3 times.
Yeah.
It was originally Jay, then it was Andrade, then it was LA Knight there for a minute. Now it's Drew McIntyre.
Oh, man.
I'm freaking pumped about this. I was super excited. This match was pretty fucking dope. I had to rewatch basically the match twice because I basically just wanted to watch it without writing any notes and just enjoy it. And then I went back and filled most of the match. It was just big slapping man meat, even though Ilya's not giant like Drew and Sheamus.
Mm-hmm. He's little.
I don't know, but he was still holding his own in there. But I was excited for Drew.
The dog in the fight about the size of the fight and the dog. Talk to you.
Yeah. I was pumped as fuck to see Drew, and I actually jumped out of my seat when I saw Drew win because I couldn't decide between Ilya and Drew on who walks out with the dub here.
Mm-hmm. I gotta learn these mics that I bought for us for SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, that's all I have for Monday Night Raw. Do you want to hit right into SmackDown? Because I didn't even watch SmackDown, so all this is gonna be just a surprise to me.
This is all gonna be new for you on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. We opened SmackDown out in the crowd, the concession area, and we hear Uso as Jey Uso makes his entrance through the audience, basically just yeeting with Toronto the entire time. Everybody's going crazy. Cole's going crazy. We even had Corey Graves on commentary. He was like, "Cole, what the hell are you doing?" and shit like this. He wasn't yeeting. Corey ain't into it.
Corey ain't a yeeter.
Corey ain't a yeeter like us. But
Nope.
Uso gets into the ring and goes, "If you want to see main event Jey Uso become yeet in the bank, let me hear you say yeet. Yeet." But then what happens? Uso barely gets any words out when we get LA Knight. Yeah. Yeah. The man himself comes down to the ring. And he goes, maybe, Jay, you might be the odds-on favorite this year. But last year, I was the odds-on favorite. And I got respect for you for leaving the bloodline. But the only way I'm going to show you respect is by disrespecting you tomorrow night at Money in the Bank. Because everybody can get stomped on.
Yeah.
And don't get lost in the sauce. Because in Toronto, everybody isn't going to be saying yeet. They're all going to be saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, no, there wasn't a yeah afterwards. Uso just looks at him slowly. He takes off his glasses, and I can't even lie. This was the highlight of my entire year because Uso just looks at him and he goes, yeet. And Knight looks at him and he goes, yeah. And Uso looks at him and he goes, yeet. And Knight looks at him and he goes, yeah. Which is when Carmelo Hayes' music hits. This chump comes out to ruin the fun. And he goes, LA Knight, bro, you're basically obsessed with Logan Paul. You've been obsessing over this man, and that's why you're too distracted to be able to win Money in the Bank. And he doesn't get to talk that much shit before Chad Gable walks out, and we can already see what's happening. Everybody's on their way out.
Mm-hmm.
Chad Gable starts talking his shit, and he goes, bro, I've been living in a fucking hell for the last 3 weeks. My family left me. I got whacked in the head. I got left for dead by a bunch of freaks. I've been fighting monsters for fucking a month. And then we get El Idolo as Andrade walks out. And he goes, y'all a bunch of chumps. And he basically just mocks everybody's dreams to win Money in the Bank by saying dreams don't win matches when it comes to Money in the Bank. But he doesn't get too much shit talking when the man himself walks out, the last man to qualify for Money in the Bank that we just talked about. Drew McIntyre walks out to immediately get showered in CM Punk chants. And so Drew's like, Punk isn't here, but his family is always going to be with me, as he's holding up that the bracelet that he stole from him. Mm-hmm. And he basically plans on doing what he did to CM Punk to every single person in the ladder match tomorrow, which, man, you're going to leave them all bloodied and beaten. So he basically gets in the ring, and it's time for him to roast every single person in this ring. So he looks at Andrade, who's just laying on the ropes, and he goes, El idiot. He goes, Chad, man, I just feel bad for you, bro. And then just turns his back to him and walks away. He goes, Mello, you might have a bright future, but you aren't him. You are looking up at him. And just walks away. Knight, tomorrow, everybody isn't going to be saying, yeah. They're just going to be saying, no. That one didn't hurt that bad. That one didn't hurt that bad. But he looks at Jay. I forgot to mention. When Jay made his entrance, before he started talking about winning Money in the Bank, he goes, man, he made a joke. And he basically goes, man, I don't even know how I was able to get over the border into this country. Which, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
So Drew looks at him and he goes, Jay, how the hell did you manage to get over the border? Damn, the honesty here. But Andrade just finally attacks Drew from behind, and basically an entire brawl breaks out. Everybody gets spilled to the outside of the ring, basically by Drew McIntyre. He kind of wipes the field until, and yeet, throw him out over the top rope, and the two of them just have a face-off in the ring. They don't touch each other, but they're both looking up at the briefcase, and it's versus yeet tomorrow at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was excited as fuck, bro. The yeet and off of the year, it finally happened.
Dude,
I fucking love it. But
I need Jay to win. I need Jay to
I need
win.
Jay to win.
I need Jay to win.
Oh
I
my
need to buy
god.
this Money in the Bank briefcase because I don't want
We're
to buy
gonna
one
find out.
title.
I'm excited. If you want to see Jey Uso win Money in the Bank, let me hear you say yeet. Yeah. I mean yeet. But we do now move backstage to Bayley being interviewed by Kathy Kelly, who goes, Bayley, you know about Money in the Bank. You won the briefcase before, and you went on to become the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion in history with it. And basically, Bayley's hyping herself up. She goes, it's a hard match. It's a ladder match. You got to climb up. You got to grab the thing, and that's you do the thing. That's basically it. Then the fucking highlight of everyone's world, Chelsea Green. Or, sorry, I did not do that justice. Chelsea Green interrupts and says, Bayley, you wouldn't be champ if I hadn't been illegally ejected from her match with Piper at Clash at the Castle. And she goes, I'm going to go on to win Money in the Bank, and I'm going to be called Cha-Ching Chelsea. Oh my god, I wish, dude. That's awesome.
Dude, that's insane.
That works so well. I've seen so many people pitch an idea for Chelsea to win Money in the Bank and then threaten to bring back the Divas Championship with it.
Dude, please.
Oh my god.
I'd be okay with it.
That'd be so funny. I love Chelsea. I would be too. I wouldn't be okay with if that actually happened, but if she threatened to do it, I'd be okay with it.
No, I'd be okay if it actually happened. I think it'd be fucking hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
But like, keep kind of referencing it to be the women's championship instead of the Divas Championship. And they kind of just piss off Chelsea enough to where she kind of, goes off and makes her own fake world title, kind of like Taz did with the FTW World Championship, or the FTW Championship.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And so the Divas title isn't actually just a title. It's just one of those titles that are just floating around on TV, but it actually has some legitimacy.
Right. As Chelsea's trying to hold it up and be like, this is the real world championship. Listen to me.
Exactly.
But Cha-Ching Chelsea, after talking her shit, distracts Bayley enough for Piper Niven to attack her from the back and throw her into some boxes. And basically, Chelsea goes, next time Piper lays you out, that's going to be when I cash in my Money in the Bank contract. Calling her shot.
Already. We go to commercial, and as soon as we come back, we got Bayley walking out of Nick Aldis's office, and Naomi's already waiting for her. And we hear that Bayley made Nick Aldis give her a match with Piper Niven tonight, and it's official on SmackDown. Why Piper? Why not Chelsea?
I know, right? But whatever. Clash at the Castle rematch happening. But that'll have to wait, because next up we move into the Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly. Yes, boys! I love it. I'm so happy to have Pretty Deadly back on TV. Well, we started this off Montez Ford and Elton Prince starting the match as Montez starts just suplexing this bro all around the ring. Even Kit Wilson tried to get in there, and he just got suplexed too. And they tried to double team him and failed to get Montez into their corner and beat the shit out of him. So Dawkins gets in there. He starts running wild on Pretty Deadly. They hang him up on the rope, and he takes control. When we come back from commercial, Dawkins is starting to get wrecked by Elton as Pretty Deadly got control of the match. Montez, though, manages to get that crazy hot tag. He goes wild on these two motherfuckers. Elton stops Montez from climbing the ropes, but Dawkins gets a blind tag while he's up there before Pretty Deadly hits a superplex on Montez. Then Dawkins hits a swanton onto Kit, I think while he's like trying to pin him or something like that. And then Dawkins pounces Kit into Elton on the apron, so he just falls to the outside. And then Montez takes them both out with a giant dive, takes them out, or I think it was Elton in the ring. Got hit with a big old frog splash from Montez, hit in the clouds for the dub. And Street Profits walking out with a win. WW. I want to see, I'm kind of still concerned why the fuck they just got pushed to the side on their feud with the Bloodline.
Who?
The Street Profits.
Oh, yes. I don't know, man.
They were straight up, they were Kevin Owens' partners fighting the Bloodline.
And now then it was Cody and Randy.
Yeah, now it's Cody and Randy.
Wait.
Like, I want to see Street Profits get put into some main event shit.
Wait. Maybe they're not getting pushed to the side necessarily. Maybe this is help setting up Cody versus Randy at SummerSlam.
Oh,
think about it. Let me talk to you. Right? Okay, so we're sitting here. We got, say Cody, Randy, and Owens lose against the Bloodline at Money in the Bank. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Cody comes out, cuts a promo. Randy comes out, and they're having a little promo going back and forth. But Randy is looking at Cody like, "I want that world title," and Cody's like, "What the hell, dude? Like, I thought we were like best friends. I thought we were close. So, like, what the hell? What's going on?" And he goes, "You know what? You want your match at SummerSlam? You got it." But Randy's like, "I don't need it that easy." And so Cody's like, "Okay, well, what do you want?" And then they kind of talk it out, whatever, maybe. But as Cody gets ready to leave the ring, Orton hits an RKO onto Cody, making Orton the heel in this situation, keeping Cody as a face for as long as we can because, the majority of his fan base is literally like kids 10 and under. Like, so if you can keep that, and then what you do with that is, now with Owens, so now we have our SummerSlam match set up. That's just the beginning of what I just said. Like, they add on more as the weeks go by. We have our SummerSlam match. Now with Owens, he's still feuding with the Bloodline. Year 5 is getting ready to come around the damn corner. This is crazy.
It really is.
I'm done with Owens fighting the Bloodline, but you know what? It works. I don't know how. 4 years, it works.
Yeah, I don't know how he's fought him for 4 years and it's still entertaining.
Right.
And yet LWO got boring after 2.
Yeah. We see Montez, Angelo, and Owens still fighting the Bloodline all up until SummerSlam. But as the weeks go by, the Street Profits get a shot at DIY's tag titles. They beat DIY at SummerSlam or like a later PLE, and then that's when you start the whole Street Profits Bloodline thing with the tag titles.
Ooh, I like that.
I mean, that's kind of in a sense short term and long-term storytelling, but
that definitely is. I like that. You eventually will loop back to Profits and Bloodline when the Profits are the tag champs.
That's
which I freaking love because that does put the belts on them.
And it would make them look more legitimate.
Hell yeah. Especially since they've been kind of just floating around without Bobby Lashley since he got injured.
Yeah.
But we did kind of mention the tag titles there for a second. We do move to A-Town Down Under backstage in their locker room. And Theory wants to make sure that these guys are on the same page. But Waller thinks Gargano it's gotten in his head, bro. Like, you need to focus up. You need to lock in, bro. We got a tag title match tonight. And so it's gassing up Theory, saying DIY is just trying to turn them against each other, He goes, man, if we are hold on, I gotta do a good Australian accent if I'm gonna talk like Grayson Waller. Well, Mike, if we are on the same page, that we need to catch up with each other. Basically. So these guys, I don't know. They don't seem like they're on the same page anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know about it either.
Think the end is near for them, but we do go. I think to commercial after this. We will find that out in the main event. I forgot to mention it is DIY versus A-Town Down Under for the WWE Tag Team Championships. We do return from commercial though to see a review video going over the death of Paul Heyman last week. And they killed him by putting him through a table, killed him with a headbutt. But man, he stood up for himself. You are not my tribal chief. Love it.
Hello, I love you, and I acknowledge that you are not my tribal chief.
Damn straight, Paul.
Let's go, Paul. Talk
Let's
your
go.
shit. Talk it, King. Come on.
Talk it, King. Then he got murked. But we do move. We do after this get a match. Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. I didn't even know this was happening on this show. Versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, the EST herself. And this match started like after commercial. So like they made their entrances and then immediately went to commercial. Come back from commercial and the match has already started. We got Jade and Indy are legal as Jade is throwing her around. She hits a good ass super kick until she Indy tags in Candice, who takes control for her team, tags Indy back in. And they both, Indy and Jade, take each other out with big boots. And they're both on the ground now. As Jade crawls, she does that fucking wrestler crawl. I saw a really good meme of like a gopher or something crawling on the ground in like pain or something. And it was like going at like 2 centimeters an hour. And it was like wrestlers whenever they need to make a hot tag during a match. That was literally Jade during this. But she gets the hot tag to Bianca Belair, and Bianca runs wild, stops a Hurricane Rana from LeRae, and powers her like into a reverse powerbomb onto Indy, who's lying on the floor. She then stands up, does a standing moonsault onto this bitch, and then Jade runs in, decapitates Candice LeRae with a pump kick to the face, and we get a KOD to Indy and a Jaded to Candice for the dub for the EST and the Storm. I actually didn't think they were going to win this match.
Dude, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell need to get a win under their belt because they're just jobbers at this point.
They really are, but I thought
they
that
need to
this
pick...
match...
Wait, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay.
I
thought this was going to go down the route that we were talking about, I think last week, where we think Jade and Bianca are going to start teasing their breakup by they both lost their qualifying match because of dumb reasons, and they lost their tag titles because they hit their finishers and got thrown out of the ring when they couldn't get the pin. So I thought something very similar to that was going to happen during this match, where like Jade would have like the match won and Bianca would like accidentally somehow cost her, or somehow Jade costs them the match, something like that.
Right.
But I clearly wasn't right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, because ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. We do got an interview with Bianca and Jade afterwards, though, and they basically just go, man, we won our tag titles back. And thank you, Isla and Alba, for keeping our titles warm for us for this little bit of time. So they're already gunning for the belts again.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. I don't know if they should win them, though. I don't know what to do with these two. They're a little bit in a confusing spot, if you ask me.
Agreed.
We do go to the parking lot. Or no, it was just backstage. It wasn't the parking lot. Cody Rhodes is already here. But Cody Rhodes meets up with Team RKO, as I like to call them, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, and they start making their way to the ring. And man, Randy's got the munchies during this episode of SmackDown. During the beginning of the show, they were like making their way into the arena. All three of them were from the parking lot. This was at the very beginning of the show. You know how they show those shots of them walking in.
Yeah.
And Randy was eating like a bowl of cereal or something in the background, literally, as they were walking in. And then in this one, he was drinking a protein shake. So Randy's got the munchies tonight.
Dude's going crazy.
He's getting them gains, bro. Look at him.
Dude, he's a unit. He needs the gains.
He's huge.
275 pounds.
Straight up. All three of these guys make their entrances out in front of the Canadian crowd, and they go nuts, especially for Kevin Owens. You all know he's a hometown guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody looks at him and goes, so, Toronto, what do you want to talk about? Because there is a lot that we could talk about. because there's a lot of WWE events happening over the weekend. He names Money in the Bank. He names NXT Heat Wave. He names everything going on with Raw, SmackDown, any like meet and greet shows. There was a lot of them actually. And he goes, maybe WWE and Toronto are just a good fit for each other. But with that being said, we have had enough of this new bloodline and are ready for a fight. And basically hands the mic to Kevin Owens, who steals the night. And well, it was a little bit embarrassing right when he started, I can't lie. He started to talk and he goes about the last 4 years and of him fighting the bloodline and all that. He's like, I could talk about the last 4 years of me fighting Roman, the Usos, Solo, etc., but I only want to talk about the last 4 days. And that's when it kind of got really embarrassing because you could tell he was getting really serious here. He wasn't hyping anyone up. He was just looking dead at the hard camera, being dead serious. And which is when we got a lot of El Generico chants, which took a while for them to die down. But when they eventually did, he talks about how, I think it was on Monday, he had to rush home because he got a call that his mother was extremely sick and had to go to the hospital in Quebec. And he says that he could have stayed there and he could have stayed home to take care of his sick mother, who's fighting for her life right now in the hospital, but that's not what she would have wanted. She would have wanted him to be here, and she would have wanted him to fight like hell and leave it all in the ring and fight like hell, just like she's doing right now. And Evans, bro, he doesn't care about win, loss, or draw. Only thing he wants to do is beat the Bloodline's asses worse than ever before. Owens, a man on a mission.
He's fighting.
You could tell Owens was pretty pumped up for this one. And yeah, like I said, it was pretty awkward that they were doing all those El Generico chants because I was like, you could tell, yeah, he's got something serious to say. Y'all need to kind of shut the fuck up on this one. I like El Generico's chants more just like everyone else does. It's like the what chants. There's a time and a place for him.
What? Yeah.
What? We do get a sick-ass video after this, though, going over the legacy of the WWE Tag Team Championships. That will be the main event later tonight. DIY and A-Time Down Under. But meanwhile, we move to Bayley, accompanied by Naomi, taking on Piper Niven, accompanied by Chelsea Green. And as they're making their entrances, especially during Bayley's, we get a really close-up shot of Io Sky staring at Bayley as she's watching this match from ringside. And as the match starts, Bayley tries firing off on Piper, only for her to get thrown around and gets a senton delivered to her. So Bayley throws Piper to the outside, and she does a dive, actually, before Tiffy Time walks down the ramp, making her presence known to everybody. So Bayley and Piper knock each other out in the ring as all 6 members of Women's Money in the Bank, Chelsea Green, Naomi, Tiffany, Io, Lyra, and Zoe, all show up through like the audience, through the ramp and all that shit, and they all just start getting into a giant brawl. All start fighting, and it eventually ends with Tiffany Stratton hitting the prettiest moonsault ever, taking everybody else on the outside. And back inside the ring, Bayley moves away from the ropes, and hits Bayley with a rose plant for the win. And as she's standing, like, in the ring, holding up her title, being like, I'm the champ of SmackDown, and shit like that, Nia Jax wipes her ass out, lays her out, and the Queen is standing over her, about to take her out with the Annihilator, when fucking Michin walks out. We got the entire women's roster out here right now, and takes out Nia Jax with a kendo stick. So Nia Jax eventually runs away, and we can see it kind of fades to commercial as Nia Jax is doing the Tiffy Time symbol on her wrist, motioning to Tiffany Stratton, basically saying that she's going to win tomorrow.
It's Tiffy time.
It's Tiffy time. I don't think that's wrong. We do move now to DIY, or DX as R-Truth likes to call him, walking backstage to the ring. They're talking about how important this building is. This is the same building that 8 years ago they won the NXT titles in against the Revival. And this is the same building that I can't remember how many years ago it was that Johnny Gargano chose to return from his knee surgery or knee injury. And because this is just like a second home to these guys. So with that being said, we move into our main event, the WWE Tag Team Championships, DIY versus A-Town Down Under. And this starts with A-Town Down Under, mate! As all four start brawling and DIY take both Theory and Waller out with dives. We move right into a commercial, and when we come back from it, Ciampa and Theory are the legal man. And Ciampa tags in Gargano, and they hit some double team moves on him. But Theory and Waller are able to start whooping Gargano's ass until he sends Theory into the barricade and hits just this nuts destroyer to Waller, doing like the bank off of the. He usually does it off the ropes in the ring, but he did it off the barricade and hit it on the floor this time. It was fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. That's why they call him Johnny Wrestling. But Waller pulls Ciampa off of the apron after that, because he's already on the outside, keeping Johnny from getting a tag. And Theory hits a nasty neck breaker on him as we go to another commercial. And when we come back, Ciampa hits Waller with a Willow's Bell, like right as we come back from commercial, into a super kick immediately from Gargano for a near fall. Waller accidentally, though, hits Theory after a botched double team move to Gargano, and Waller kicks out of a shatter machine from these guys, which is a callback to their match with the Revival, because that's FTR's finishing move. Waller then hits a flipping unprettier, which I think is going to be his new finisher instead of the rolling stunner, which I like this move a lot more. But that gets broken up by Gargano. Ciampa, though, is able to hit a Project Ciampa. He tags in Gargano to immediately hit Meat in the middle, but Theory, at the last fucking second, grabs his foot and puts it on the ropes. Waller then immediately recovers, rolls Gargano up for a near fall, holding onto the trunks, and Johnny gets out of that, and he wiggles his way into trapping Waller into the Gargano escape. Theory starts to walk in to save him, but like he goes to tap, like Theory's about to give up. He goes to hit the mat, but Theory dives and grabs his hand right before it hits the mat, and so he can't tap out no matter what he does, which is when Ciampa traps Theory in a Sicilian stretch, so they're both in submission holds. Again, another callback to what they did to win their tag titles against the Revival, and both Theory and Waller tap out, meaning that DIY are the new WWE Tag Team Champions.
DX, let's go Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Let's go Triple H! Let's go Shawn! That's insane! They've won so many tag titles. I was super excited to see DIY get their tag title win, especially in this building where they've had all this history in. About damn time.
First tag titles.
But at this point in the show, we literally had like 3 minutes left. So I was like, and this entire show, we were getting hyped up that Solo has to address everybody. Solo is going to address everybody. Solo's going to talk to everybody. The Tribal Chief will be here. And we hadn't heard from Solo yet, but with like 3 minutes left, we hear Michael Cole say, everybody, Solo Sikoa has now chosen this time to address everybody about what happened last week. I'm like, good job, Solo. Great timing. But with that happening, we do fade to a back room. Solo sitting at a table with everybody standing behind him, the bloodline, and he holding the Ulafala, and he goes, this is the Ulafala. This makes me the Tribal Chief. We then see a video of what happened to Paul last week, and he goes, this is not what I wanted, but it's what my family needed. Roman Reigns wasn't man enough to defend our title at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns wasn't man enough to defend his legacy and our family's legacy against Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns can no longer call himself the Tribal Chief because Solo, he is now the Tribal Chief. and he will take back the undisputed title from Cody Rhodes. And with Roman's name being said, if he wants the title of Tribal Chief back, if he wants to be known as the head of the table again, he's going to have to come back and take it from Solo. He goes, I'm coming after Cody Rhodes and everybody in that 6-man tag match, and they will all acknowledge me as all of them hold up their ones, and the show closes out. Solo! Oh no! Solo gonna get his ass whooped.
Solo's gonna get his ass beat.
Big Cousin's gonna come back. Big Oos is gonna come back.
Yeah, Big Goose is coming back.
Big Oos is coming back, man. I'm excited as shit for it. Solo's real talking shit here.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I think it's pretty obvious he's not like talking with Roman. He's not with Roman or anything. He's straight up like kicking Roman out of the bloodline. And I think now that he has Jacob Fatu behind him, he has more confidence than ever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Straight up, but it's all perfectly set up for Roman to come back.
Yeah, it is perfectly set up. I think this is playing more and more Roman. I'm still saying Roman at SummerSlam.
Roman at SummerSlam for sure. Please, for sure, happen at SummerSlam. I would
he comes
lose
back.
my shit.
He comes back at SummerSlam. That pop is gonna be so crazy.
Dude, it's gonna be so nuts. I'm gonna be sitting there the entire night, like, just please happen, please happen, please happen.
I'm waiting for this is my brutality.
This is my brutality. I don't know who I'll pop more for. I don't know who I'm gonna be more excited for.
I think I'm more excited for Rhea to come back because I'm tired of fucking Dom fucking around with Liv.
Dirty Sanchez. Yeah, yeah. Rhea needs to whoop his ass. I'm ready for Rhea to give him a fucking riptide through a table, through the ring.
The ring.
I want him to riptide that fucking mustache off of his face.
She's a riptide way through the dance table.
Damn straight.
Make an inferno match between Rhea and Liv.
Oh my god! What the fuck? That went from like, whoa, that's crazy. Came on fire.
Custody of Dominic.
Yeah, for sure. I think that should happen for sure. If anything, at least have a ladder match for the women's title with Dominic as like a special guest referee or something.
Honestly.
Or have him be just for the match.
Dom.
But I ain't got too much else for SmackDown. You have anything else for Raw?
Nah.
All right. Well, I got a question for you before we do close out the show. And I want to know, what are the 3 wrestling matches off the top of your head of all time from WWE mostly that you would show somebody if you're trying to get them into wrestling? Like a first-time person.
The triple threat TLC, Christian and Edge, Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, any John Cena, Randy Orton match, all those are bangers. And WrestleMania 25, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels.
Oh, baby, it's like one of my favorite matches of all time.
And if I had to have a moment, specifically a moment to pick out, WrestleMania 31, WWE Championship match, main event, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins cash.
Seth Rollins. Oh, that's insane.
That would
you got good ones there.
Mm-hmm.
For matches.
Let me know. What do you got?
Let's see. So many good ones. I would definitely do CM Punk versus John Cena, Money in the Bank 2011. Just that crowd is unreal. Mostly for the crowd, honestly, but yeah, the match itself is just stupidly good. Probably do Mick Foley, probably versus. No, I would do Hell in a Cell, Undertaker versus Mankind at King of the Ring, So like if you want to see the brutality of what professional wrestling can be, that is the match. Like if you want to see like, professional wrestling is fake, watch this match and tell me that. His tooth is coming out of his fucking nose.
Yeah.
So those two, and then, man, I want to say a like Rock versus Austin match from any of them, but I never like lived through those. But I didn't live through the King of the Ring match either, to be fair. But I would have to say the Gunther versus Drew versus Sheamus at WrestleMania 39 are the three matches that I would show.
Honorable mention.
Oh yeah,
AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes, Backlash 2024.
Damn straight, that's such a good one. If I had to go for a moment,
if you wanted to go crowd wise, Ryan, that crowd, boom.
Oh yeah, France was insane. That was so fucking good. But if I had to go for a moment, it would be either Rock and Hogan facing off before their match. I can't remember which WrestleMania it was. I think it was like 16, something like that. I can't remember.
I think it was 18.
Yeah. But those two facing off before their match, or the CM Punk pipe bomb.
Dude, yes.
Yeah, because like if people like, professional wrestling is so fake. Look at this. Look at what CM Punk says in this, and tell me everything he says in there isn't like malice intended towards people back there. Like he's going after people with that.
Oh yeah, he's going after next, dude. I might watch that later, just cause.
just to relive it.
Just to relive
it. That would be the matches I would throw out.
Well, we have pretty solid picks. I will say, I like those.
Straight up, so are yours. Everything was solid. But I think that's it for this episode. I don't have anything
else, though. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to another episode of the AR Wrestling Podcast. We will catch y'all next time. I'm pretty sure with the Clash at the Castle pre-show predictions.
Money in the Bank pre-show
Money in the Bank pre-show predictions. I know how to speak English. Thank you, everybody. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at ARWrestling_. Our Instagram is AR_wrestling_. We are on Spotify and Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio under AR Wrestling Podcast. Our YouTube channel is just AR Wrestling. Have a beautiful day. Subscribe, please, everybody. And we will catch y'all next time. Thank you.